What is going on, everyone? Jeremy here, Unsleeved Media, reporting on some more hate facts. Facts that caused the most popular Magic the Gathering shills to not only attack me, but attack all of you. Pretty sad individuals. Meanwhile, while they're getting flown around to GPs that have 50% of the attendance they had last year, I'm here reporting the facts to try and help out the players. Now, there is this narrative around Dominaria's success that I need to address. Wynn pointed out that actual irrefutable evidence shows that GP Grand Prix attendance is down 50%. People somehow thought that this was not an indication that the game is shrinking, at least the paper version. Why you'd be so dumb, so willfully dumb, I don't know. They apparently think that a 50% growth or a doubling in player base over a period of time, somehow none of them go to Grand Prix. In fact, half as many people go to Grand Prix now as they did last year, which is exactly why prices are absurd. Then, another hate fact dropped by our friend Rudy at Alpha Investments, sharing further irrefutable evidence that the Grand Prix paper Magic scene is dying. This year at Grand Prix Vegas, we went from last year of 41 or 42 registered vendors down to just 20 this year. That is half, folks, half, which matches the attendance drop. Now, apparently Wedge from the Manosaurus and the Professor are going to keep telling you that the game's doing great. I don't know why they choose to keep their heads in the sand. I would rather be on the front lines fighting, trying to have conversations about how to make things better. Certainly, the Grand Prix experience has gotten stale. They need to work on it. Then when you look at the lack of vendors going to Grand Prix Vegas, you're talking about $8,000 a head. That is the real price. At minimum, $8,000 per booth, okay? Now, take that times 20, that's $160,000 in lost revenue year over year, okay? They have the exact same grounds. They probably have the same fixed costs this year, and I know a lot of these new male regressive shill boys can't understand basic math, but for them, they lost 160 grand. In order to offset that, you would need thousands more registered entries. Not a couple hundred, not 500, not 1,000, between 1,500 and 2,500 new registries to show up at that Grand Prix in the face of evidence showing the trend data shows Grand Prix attendance in 2017 over previous year was half of what it was the year before. Why do you think all these Grand Prix people are desperately flying out celebs to try and increase attendance? That's not working either. Spoiler alert. Now everybody's talking about how great Dominaria is doing. And from what I hear, it's a great set. And that is good. That should be applauded. I'm happy. Again, do I suffer from a little bit of schadenfreude? Do I like to revel in when companies allow their far left or far right ideologies divide their customer base and they lose focus on the product and then having some financial repercussions for that? Do I take some joy in seeing that happen? Yes. I'm sorry. I'm only human. Ultimately, I'd have nothing to say if they weren't completely fucking up all the time. If they weren't banning people, looking for safe spaces and worrying about inclusion instead of worrying about card stock quality and a stale standard, I wouldn't have much to talk about other than deck techs and opening awesome product. Instead, Wizards of the Coast is going to end up a lot like what my June looks like. By the way, hit that thumbs up button if you want to see Shadowrun open in June. How about the World of Warcraft TCG? That's happening. We're doing a dead TCG month, folks. How about the dead Star Wars CCG? Very expensive box, by the way, because it's still a popular game. I've got another Warcraft, and I'm gonna pick up so many dead TCGs at Gen Con. We're gonna have a blast this summer. How about this game? How many of you remember Rage? This is the original expansion, the Umbra. We're gonna have a blast. That's what I'm trying to avoid. So many morons out there are talking about how great Dominaria is selling. The booster box prices are like $100 or $105 on eBay. It must be because sales are through the roof. In fact, they are dead wrong. My insiders at distributors have told me exactly why this is. Wizards of the Coast smartly, in my opinion, unfortunately I have to dispel this now and share the truth with people, smartly limited distribution. They extended the period to where you can only order your allocation to artificially limit the supply of Dominaria on the market. The exact same way the diamond industry does it, right? There isn't a availability problem with diamonds. It's artificial. That's what you're seeing with Dominaria. Now, the reason you need to listen to this video is because that has now been lifted and the market is now about to get flooded with Dominaria, which is good for the players. It's great for the players. You're going to see boxes back down to $85, $90. Mark my words. You think I'm lying? Come back in 2 weeks and show me the eBay prices. All right? This is what's happening. I know several people who have ordered thousands of boxes, and they will be mass box opening and completely crushing the market because Wizards artificially inflated the price, which is good. It's a smart business move. Unfortunately, we all see through it. And there's so many leaks now. There's so many people so angry with the way Wizards of the Coast has has treated distributors. They're all willing to tell me what's going on because I had to ask, why? What's going on with Dominaria? Everybody's telling me that Dominaria is this insane success. It's such a huge success. Jeremy, you're such a fucking idiot. Dominaria is flying off the shelves. Wrong. It is not. They limited the supply. Now, that doesn't mean the set wasn't great. All signs point to the set was great. Really wish I wasn't lifetime banned so I could have went to the pre-release and went to a few drafts myself. But Wizards doesn't want my money, apparently. So what's happening this week? You are going to strongly consider selling your singles that you don't need for your deck. If they're not in a deck, you need to strongly consider selling them now. If you're paying $30, $40, $50 for Karns and you have extra Karns, now is the time to sell them. If you have anything from Dominaria that is exceedingly high priced, especially if it's at rare, you need to move it now unless you need it in an actual deck because the flood is coming. You wait a couple weeks from now, you'll see Sports and More selling Dominaria for $80, $90 a box again, and everyone will get crushed. This is the problem. Everybody gets hyped, right? This is why this is not a good solution long-term for Wizards. You can artificially inflate the product, and you have to commit then. You have to commit to scarcity because now they're going to be worried about overall sales because Wizards doesn't directly benefit from the secondary market. So what's going to happen now, the ban has been, the order limits have been lifted. So everybody's going to order the shit out of the product and they're going to flood the market with singles. And everybody who just bought play sets of cards for like $200 is going to get completely butt fucked. They're going to drop down to, I'm guessing, $15. It's not going to be a no value card. It's not going to go down to $1, right? But a lot of these prices in Dominaria are way, way overinflated. People keep telling me, well, Jeremy, you're such a hater. We can't even keep Dominaria on the shelves at my local game store. That is on purpose. It's not because so many people are buying it. It's because Wizards of the Coast has artificially increased scarcity. Now, the same, I'm told, is true with Battle Bond. A lot of local game stores have reached out to me, fans of the channel, told me that Battle Bond ain't doing so hot. And there's a lot of communication issues with the events. But right now, Karn, $43, that card is going to get crushed at minimum to half of what it is. Teferi, $36, absolutely not. Unload this card. I mean, you have no idea how bad it's going to be unless you've been here before. I mean, you have the Chandra Pyromancer at $14, $15. That's going to be sub $10, okay? It is time to sell your extras. Now, if they're in a deck and you need them, great. Lyra Dawnbringer, $14, $15. History of Benalia, no. These cards are all going to drop, and people are going to be pissed. And then what's going to happen is Wizards of the Coast is again going to shoot themselves in the foot. Now, when I tried to share this data, I got attacked. A lot of Wizards shills chose to attack me rather than ignore irrefutable evidence. Here we have this loser, Ilion. In my opinion, he's a loser. Unblocks me just to try and refute data. Try to refute that the player base has not doubled in size. And then we had Wedge coming in, insulting my fans. And we have Wedge retweeting stuff, trying to say this is all drama. Meanwhile, you know, this coming from a guy that's getting flown around to every Grand Prix and GP in the country. Now, who do you think has your best interest in mind? Would it be the guy who has always shot you straight? Or would it be the people whose livelihood literally depends on this game? I mean, it's been great knowing you. Oh my God, I wonder what I'm going to do at SCG Con or GP Vegas or GP Sao Paulo or the Pro Tour, GP Providence or GP Richmond. This is what you get when you sell your soul to the shills. Nobody is going to listen to you anymore, Wedge. I tried to tell you in the face of irrefutable evidence that the player base is not growing, that it's shrinking, and you can look at the Grand Prix for easy directional data. If the player base had doubled, like that moron CEO from Hasbro sort of insinuated, and people that have never talked to CEOs in their life believed because they heard what they wanted to hear, then Grand Prix would at minimum be level or grown. You show me a reason to say if we went from 20 million players to 40 million players, which is what morons like the Professor and the Manosaurus led you to believe, why in the hell is Grand Prix attendance half of what it was last year? Why have 50% of vendors dropped out? Why is standard so boring? Wizards, if you want to fix Grand Prix, you have to make standard good again. You have to gain the trust back of your customers, and this short-term like puff and blow that they're doing with Dominaria is not going to end well. It's going to end well for people who are hearing me now and get rid of these cards before they get completely floored. But everyone who doesn't watch my videos, which is the overwhelming majority of Magic players, in fact, it's the overwhelming majority of Magic players on YouTube, are going to get completely hosed in the next couple weeks. And that is going to be because of Wizards' greed and shills who don't look out for you. Make your money now, boys and girls. Sell those singles. Rebuy them when they plummet.